Okay, hello everyone, and welcome back to World of Tanks Blitz, and this time it is not a garage review, despite the fact that we are starting in the garage. And whilst we are looking at the Chieftain Mark 6, which I happen to be very lucky in acquiring, this is not what we'll be we will partly be talking about the Chieftain Mark 6, but not as a proper garage review. That will be coming later. But instead, what I'm going to be talking about is the crates, loot crates, and I know that instantly this is going to be a controversial video just from that. And I would first like to get out the way with saying I do not like the loot crate system that World of Tanks has implemented. I far prefer to just buy the tanks in a bundle, or even buy themselves, which is what they used to do before, bringing out bundles. I suppose this one isn't too bad because it is literally the tank and garage slots. Before, sometimes they bundle it with premium days, which I never use, so they're useless. Gold, which I always need, but some people don't, and I mean, that's not as bad. Premium tanks are always a thing because it's a free-to-play game. Gold and premium tanks is going to be how they're making their money. But what I don't like is the loot crate system. So I'm just going to talk about the loot crate system and how they've started implementing it and sort of why. So to get it out of the way, why they've implemented it, most likely, is because everyone else is doing it. Overwatch did it as soon as it came out. That was sort of part of an integral part of Overwatch. TF2, you could say, does it with the crates, the cosmetic chests and things. I'm fairly certain games like Fortnite do it. Call of Duty did it. EA got into the big problem with Star Wars Battlefront 2. And there are definitely some things worse than others. Some games which do it worse than others. World of Tanks Blitz is not as bad because the big controversy about the loot crates with Star Wars Battlefront 2 is that before they reworked it, before they took them out, reworked them and re-implemented them, you used to be able to enhance your character with purchasable loot crates, which meant that anyone who was able to splash out money and buy enough loot crates to get all of the top star cards and fully upgrade their hero meant that they were unstoppable as either a hero or just their plain normal trooper compared to someone who was free to play. Free to play as in only bought the game, didn't actually buy any loot crates. And that was the big controversy because somebody from day one just go in, purchase loot crates, get all the star cards that they wanted, and bang, instantly have an advantage. No skill required, no playtime required, just go in, be instantly OP. And that's what people don't like. That's what EA got into the controversy about, and that's why probably Battlefront 2 isn't selling nearly as many copies as they hoped. Something like Team Fortress 2, on the other hand, it is a better system. Even Overwatch's loot crates, they are also a better system because you can with TF2, you can buy them for real money, and you can actually for Overwatch as well. But unlike Battlefront 2, they are purely cosmetic. TF2, the hats, everyone makes jokes about the hats in TF2 because it is an integral part of TF2, as much as the having fun class-based mercenary combat with the different weapons and the different playstyles are as much of a thing as TF2 as they are having cosmetics, because cosmetics are basically how you make your character unique. It's how you identify them as you. Like, for example, Muzog, when he used to play TF2, which he doesn't now because bugger in Overwatch, and then he ditched that for Fortnite, but Muzog, you always knew which was his soldier because he always had the wizard hat, he always had the antlers, and he always had the solar sister, the solar system little unique thing for his hat. And that's how you knew it was him, because that is how he customized his own character. It doesn't give him any buffs, It doesn't make his rockets travel 5% faster or have a 2% larger blast radius. They are literally cosmetic upgrades. You don't have to buy them. You're not under obligation to buy them from Valve, but people do because they want cosmetics. I have a lot of cosmetics, and I also have a lot of weapon skins for TF2 because they are fun. They are unique. I've made classes based around the system of having different cosmetics. I have an engineer who is basically like Robocop or the Terminator because he's half man, half machine, and he uses the Thompson, which means that he's instantly like the cancer of the cancer of engineers. But that is how I set it up. That made him unique. Because he is like a Terminator. He is half machine, half man, and that makes him unique. You won't see the same class in the same game, or well, you won't see the same layout of class in the same game, which makes it unique. And those are pretty harmless, those loot crates, because you can earn them through gameplay. Granted, there's a lower drop chance than if you were to buy them from the Steam store, or indeed from the in-game TF2 store. But comparing them to something like Battlefront 2's crates, they're not as bad because they are literally cosmetic. Now we come to World of Tanks and the loot crates that they've been doing. Before, they never used to. As people remember, you used to be able to get something like let's have a look. What was something? Su-76I, the Gloss Tractor, BTSV, the EZ-4 Sherman, the Chinook-I, way back, the Angry Connor. All these things you used to be able to buy from the store when they released them randomly. Not so much the Chieftain, but the Type 95 you could buy it from in-store. The Le Kampfpanzer you bought from in-store. The CDC you... admittedly, I think you did actually earn them through crates. Even now, there's the free crates here, and I can purchase more, which I might as well because I have so many credits. But all of them came from bloody loot crates, didn't they? But with World of Tanks, again, the loot crate system is not as bad as the pre-rework EA system, because you don't get a direct upgrade by buying the loot crates. It's under store, isn't it? Because, as you can see, the Chieftain crates here you purchase with gold. Before, they used to be in bundles, under bundles, and you would buy them for real money, like how I could buy the Type 64. And it wasn't an ideal system. They have improved it, so to say, as in you can buy them with gold, which is sometimes it is in some parts a good thing, in some parts a bad thing. But the whole thing about loot crates is that it is gambling, and that's what people don't like about it, because you are basically gambling just on a different scale. You're not gambling at a casino. You are instead gambling on a game, and gambling on a game is not as bad because you will at least receive something from it. You can go gambling in a casino, lose 10 grand and not get anything out from it. You could go into World of Tanks and spend £100 and you would still get something. You would get credits, gold, boosters, all sorts of things. You might even get a tank, which is in this case. I was very lucky to actually get the Chieftain out of this crate without buying a whole bunch of them. But yeah, it's not as bad. However, it is still pretty bad. Some people will buy crates. For example, I still buy the crates because I still want the tank. I wanted the Chieftain, so I had to go through the crate system because that's the only way of doing it, and it's not the best system. What they should do is sell it in the store and also in crates if they were to keep the crates. Not saying that they should keep the crates. For example, the 212B was from a crate. The Chieftain Mark 6 was from a crate. The CDC was from a crate. What else was from a crate? A whole bunch of things. The K91 was from a crate. The Kampfpanzer 70 was from a crate, I believe. And again, if they were to want to keep the crate system, at least sell it alongside in the shop normally. Because the whole thing that people are getting turned off about and angry about is the fact that you can only get them from crates. And the thing about these crates is that they only have a certain percentage drop chance. For something like the Kampfpanzer, you can open enough and get charms, and then you would be guaranteed one. In this case, you're not guaranteed one. 5% drop chance. I was again lucky to actually get. I was lucky to actually get the Chieftain 2 drop in a short amount of crates. However, I saw on a Discord server someone watched someone else, like on a stream or something, or on a video, open 25 of these Chieftain crates and not get it a single time. I opened 5 of these Chieftain crates and I got it. So it just goes to show that this is not a good system because it has the tank chance drop. Yeah, sure, they have it in a big attention in capital letters, but still that doesn't make it any better. I can, of course, understand the reasoning why they've got to make the money in order to pay for the game and to continue developing it. However, it is, not the best system. They've improved it, supposedly, or reworked it several times, but still, it's just not a great system. I do not like the system of the loot crates, even though, sure, you do get gold out of them sometimes. You also get credits, you get your crappy boosters, which no one really cares about anyway. But I definitely think they should go back to selling things in the premium shop, because that is the original, that is the OG way of selling them. They would definitely get a lot more people actually buying them from the shop rather than buying them from the crates. And some people will probably comment still, saying, "Oh, but you buy them from crates, therefore you're making wargaming do these crates more." Perhaps, yes, I am buying these crates more, but I'm not buying these crates after I get the tank. Some people possibly will get the tank and still get more, because I don't know why they like the thrill of, and that's the point of it. The point of unboxing is that it is the thrill of all sort of, what am I going to get? That's why people watch people making unboxing videos, because they want to know what's in the box. It's that wanting to know what you don't know sort of aspect. You will open the crate and then you'll be like, oh, maybe I'll get something out of this. What am I going to get out of this? And that's why people buy the loot crates, because they're addictive. And that is why game developers are now all doing loot crates, because they know people will buy them, because they're like, oh, crates. And indeed, watching people unbox crates can be pretty fun, because they'll be like, oh, what am I going to get? Might get something interesting out of this one. And some people will be saying, oh, you're making wargaming do this more because you are unboxing the crates. Well, yeah, but then I want the tank is the simple part of it. And I mean, the crate system is definitely not a good system, but you can understand the reasoning why. But because I'm now probably going to start repeating everything that I'll have gone over in this one, I'll just end up by recapping. Crate system is not a good idea. Should definitely go back to selling things in the shop. But in terms of a crate system, the World of Tanks one is not the worst system out there, because you do at least get something out of it, and also it's not directly affecting gameplay. Some people possibly will say, oh, but you're getting gold, which means that more people can spend it on premium ammunition. However, when they rebalance premium ammunition, it does less damage, which at first I wasn't happy about. However, now I'm looking at it, I'm going, well, actually, that's a good idea. People in Russian heavies, people in Russian mediums, will still spam heat. I know that lots of people still do spam heat, because I have come up against them in their IS-4s, IS-7s, objects, IS-6s, Rheinmetall Borsigs, and they still spam heat and gold at you. But it does less damage, which is the point. It is damaging them in terms of financial more than it is damaging you in hit points during a battle. And it kind of balances out. But still, loot crates, they're not ideal. You can understand why. Despite what people might think, I do not like the loot box system, because it is just a cheap way of making money, effectively, and I'm sure they probably would get more people buying, for example, the Chieftain, if they were to sell it in the premium shop rather than through these crates, because people are now so sick of the crates that nobody's really going to buy them unless they really want the tank like I do. So they're actually probably losing out on more sales by doing the loot crate system, even though they might think, because of the random number generator doing the drop chance, it's going to make them more money because people are going to be buying more crates, more gold in this case. But they would certainly get a lot more money if they were to actually sell it in the premium shop rather than through crates, because people are so sick of crates that they're not buying them. So it's hurting them in terms of financial by doing these loot crates. So eventually, hopefully, they will stop doing the loot crates, but for now the loot crates are here. And yeah, it's just it's a touchy subject for lots of people, and I can understand that, but hey ho. Perhaps somebody can start a petition. Wargaming perhaps will take note of it, because sometimes they do that. You can always hope, but yeah, that was just my take on the loot crate system. It's not as bad as some loot crate systems, it's still not the best, but there's not much we can do about it other than completely stopping buying loot crates. But yeah, so I'll thank you for watching, or well, listening in this case, and goodbye.